Hey, what's up everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with another 2-Minute Tuesday, and today we're going to be using Harmonics by Softube to process drums like Glitch Mob. And I guess that's a little bit of a clickbait title. However, I did learn this technique way back in the day from a video tutorial by Edit from the Glitch Mob, and I've been using it ever since. But the thing that is really important about this, and I'm going to add my own kind of spin to it, is having the right type of saturation or distortion on your drums. And the higher quality saturation unit you get, this technique is going to give you better and better results. So using Harmonics by Softube is a great step in the right direction because it's just got phenomenal sounding saturation. So this is the unit right here, and what I'm going to do is just process these drums here. So I've got this drum track right here, and that's with the processing, and this is without. So I'm going to go ahead and A/B it over here. There isn't a bypass button on the unit itself. You just got to crank this dry wet. So I'm just going to bypass it inside of Ableton Live. So you can hear the difference there. They stand out more, they're punchier, and they've got a little bit more grit, which always helps when trying to stand out inside of a mix with other instruments. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so here I am inside of the default settings for Harmonics. So I've got my drums here. It's 100% wet, and the technique is as simple as this. Crank the drive, crank the character, crank the dynamics, because I want it a little bit punchier, and then just flip through these until I find one that sounds good, and then roll back on the dry wet, and that's called parallel processing. Okay, so those are the 5 different types of saturation we have. Obviously, they're cranked to the max, but I want that, and then I want to mix in the original with the dry or with the wet until I have a nice balance where I'm just getting the character from it, but I'm still getting the overall feel of the original drums. And I really like modern, but if I'm going for something a little bit more aggressive, I might stick with the master because it really distorts that kick. Right? And for something like Tube, where it's really got a lot of high-end content being added, I can always come over here to, the high cut and just roll back a little bit on it. And then what I do, as I said, is just mix it. Starting around 50-50 is a good spot. So this is getting way too much, so I just keep rolling it back. So as I said, I would probably stick with modern for this particular example. You see how much better that sounds? It's called parallel processing, and it's really, really good, especially on trying to add a little bit of character and a little bit of grit to your drums. So let's go ahead and put it back in the mix and A/B it to see if it sounds better inside of the track. So it does. It is getting a little bit of a boost of an output there, so don't leave me a comment saying how that just sounds better because it's louder. It's getting a little bit of a boost, but that's not too much of a big deal. And again, if I wanted to roll off some of that high-end content, you can hear how the snare is sticking out better in the mix. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm using Harmonics because it's one of my favorite saturation units, but you can use any saturation unit you want. Just as I said before, the better quality, the saturation, the better quality of the processing is going to take place. So I highly suggest checking out Harmonics by Softube. It's brand new. Links in the video description if you do. And if not, just use this technique inside of your production and you'll be a happier producer for it. Anyway, I'm Joshua Casper here for Plugin Boutique, and I'll see you in the next video.